Alright, what is up guys? It is your boy the Fu coming back to yet another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the final battle of Boruto 2B Vortex. That is of course Boruto versus Kawaki. This is the fight that was introduced to us at the beginning of the show, the beginning of the manga. This is something that brought hype for a lot of the fans, and this is something that we have been anticipating for years. And I think in today's age, I think a lot of people have kind of just forgotten about it. We don't talk about it that much. We don't talk about how the time skip and everything that's happening right now in 2B Vortex is going to connect to this fight. And that's why in today's video, I actually want to take a look at that and talk about when this fight is possibly going to happen. And we're also going to be discussing a lot of the plot holes that I think to this day still need to be addressed until we get to this final battle. But without further ado, my name is Food. I make everything anime, manga related, Boruto content. So if you want to see more content like this, definitely hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's get straight to it. Alright, so my reasoning for starting this video, obviously, again, like I said, is talking about the final battle. And I think the final battle is something that I had forgotten about, like legit. I had forgot about this fight. We have just been reading the manga and like, oh, you know, because of the Shinju clones and everything that's been happening, you'd expect that 2B Vortex would have started off with like something to do with Boruto and Kawaki. And obviously, yes, we do have a lot of things that have happened between Boruto and Kawaki. For example, you know, when Boruto and Kawaki first met after the 3-year time skip, Kawaki was going for the smoke, but Boruto obviously wiped him. And then you also have, you know, the karma situation with Boruto and Momoshiki after Kawaki just pulled up and then he used his karma. And we also have the teaming up of Boruto and Kawaki at the end of their last interaction that we had since then. And that's pretty much it. That's basically what's been happening. And so obviously with this final battle, we have to look at a lot of things that need to be set up for this fight to actually happen. Obviously a fight just can't happen without build up, right? And I think the 2B Vortex manga is already building up to that. I think the first thing we need to talk about for sure is Momoshiki. This is something that I talked about in my previous video, talking about why Boruto may not possibly see the end of the show, right? Because of Kawaki. Kawaki and his karma. When Kawaki pulled up to fight Boruto and he used his karma, Boruto realized that, oh damn, our karma are resonating, and then he had to run away, right? So this becomes a problem because anytime Boruto's around Kawaki, and we know that Kawaki fights using karma like 90% of the time. So if Kawaki is in a scenario where he's forced to use karma, right, or if he's using it on purpose to bring out Momoshiki, that could become a problem. And this could possibly lead to a theory that I've been talking about for a long time, where I think that Momoshiki could be the reason why the village gets destroyed in the first place, because who else can bring destruction like that? I could see Momoshiki just taking over Boruto in a scenario where Boruto has lost control, or he just can't take over Momoshiki, and then, you know, Momoshiki just wreaks havoc, especially since Momoshiki hasn't been out for the last 2 years. It has been absolutely insane. And if you think about it, this guy is on a Sukuna type of awakening. The day he comes back, I've said this in my video talking about this, the day he comes back, it is going to be absolutely insane. It is not going to go easy. Momoshiki is not going to pull up like Kurama and just be a nice guy at the end of the 4th grade ninja war. No, he is going to be an absolute menace, and people, I don't think, are ready for that. People don't talk about that enough. And so that in itself already builds up what I would think lead up to the battle place, like the place where Boruto and Kawaki fight, the final area. I'm talking about the Hokage faces, where we could potentially just see Boruto taking control, and then he just realizes, oh shit, the village got destroyed, realizes, oh, it's because of me, it's because of Momoshiki, I have to take down Kawaki, I have to stop him. But hey, we could be wrong, and it could be just another scenario, but if that actually came out to be true, I think that would be absolutely insane. I think another thing, or another plot hole that I think has not been addressed to this day, and I'm talking just manga wise and not anime wise, because the anime has definitely dived into this and given a bit of like point of view, or like it's kind of taken its own perspective into this plot hole. I would say is the Jougan. And it's crazy to me how the Jougan hasn't even been mentioned once in the manga. Like, I have never seen them. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but ever since I've been reading this manga for like the last 5 years, I have not seen them even talk about the fucking Jougan at all. And it is actually crazy. Where is the Jougan in Boruto 2B Vortex in 2025? Obviously Boruto now, he's, you know, he's broken, he's strong, and even though he's not as strong as Jura, since we know that he is the strongest threat in the show. I always keep asking myself, if Jura is strong, how these guys, I mean, obviously Boruto and Kawaki can team up to defeat these guys, since they have decided to team up, and we already see, you know, Konoha already on the move to take down one of the Shinju clones in the Hidden Sand in the new arc of Boruto 2 Vortex. But even then, in the final battle, we see Boruto and Kawaki clashing, and then we see Boruto using his karma, right? And when he unleashes his karma, we can see the Jougan for the first time. And this was in the anime. In the manga, we can't really tell if that was a Jougan. I think at the time, people would assume, oh, maybe that was just Byakugan. And then when it came to the anime, we're like, oh, that's a different eye. That doesn't look like the Byakugan. That has to be the Jougan, right? And ever since then, the manga has never talked about the Jougan, at least to my knowledge. In the anime, they have dived into this a lot, and this is why I love the anime, because the anime always expands into a lot of the things and just like intricacies and plot holes that are never addressed in the manga, where we get so many, you know, takes and just like expansion on the Jougan. For example, in the first few arcs of the Boruto anime, where Boruto is using his Jougan subconsciously. Even I think the last arc where he was using his Jougan was the arc where they were trying to save the One Tails, I think against Urashiki. But pretty much, like, yeah, we've been, you know, getting hints of what the Jougan can do, how powerful it is. Now, I know the manga does go on later in part 1 to talk about the Otsutsuki God, and then we see the Otsutsuki God with a shit ton of Jougans. I know that. I know people are going to comment in the video and say, oh, you know, the Jougan has been shown in chapter 80. And don't get me wrong, yes, it has been shown. I will not lie. But that is pretty much it. In terms of just Boruto and just like talking about Boruto's Jougan. Not the Jougan, not the Otsutsuki God. We haven't seen anything being talked about in the manga, no build up, no nothing. And maybe they will build it up. I think this is something that I just hope that it does not change, because at the beginning of the manga, they did say that things were subject to change. For example, Boruto's fit at the beginning of the manga is way different from the fit that he has right now. Maybe it will end up becoming the same as it is, but things are subject to change. Who knows? Maybe they're not going to put the Jougan, but I think there's no way they're just going to cut off the Jougan. Ain't no way. Because for me, the Jougan is just so hype. I think it's just like an interesting take to Dojutsu, and just, I want to see that shit built up from the ground up. I want to see that shit coming back. And I don't think I've seen any build up ever since that chapter where they talked about the Otsutsuki God, and that's pretty much been it. But other than that, I think other things are kind of just falling into place, like Kawaki's power scaling. You know, we talked about how Kawaki's been such a fraud in these last 17 chapters, and now that Boruto and Kawaki decided to team up, Boruto even told him, hey man, you gotta get stronger, you gotta power up, you gotta get stronger. And now we see this build up where Kawaki is going to confront Amado and tell him to remove his limiters, because that's what has been revealed. I didn't even know the guy has limiters on. I just thought the guy was a fraud. So Boruto, Kawaki's power up is definitely going to be insane. It's going to be absolutely broken. I think he will be even strong to the point where he probably won't even need to rely on his karma that much. I don't know, but that's pretty much it. In terms of when the fight will actually happen, I really don't know. I think right now, what I'm appreciating the Boruto 2 Vortex manga for is just the fact that they are expanding the story. It's not just about the final battle. They're just giving us hints and clues here and there connecting to the final battle. At least things are not moving fast. And that's what I appreciate. I've talked about this reviewing the Boruto manga and talking about how the pacing is something that I've gotten used to. So I'm not really mad that, you know, like it's been 2 years of 2 Vortex and nothing has happened. I say let the story continue. Let it just, you know, just go with the flow. But yeah, I just hope we can get some information on the Jougan soon, like honestly. But with that said, it has been a video from me, the Food. Definitely let me know what you guys think. When do you think the final battle is going to happen? And what about the Jougan? Let me know what you guys think. But with that said, it has been a video from me, the Food. And I will see you guys in another one. Peace.